Yeah, welcome to the BEN session, business environment session. I think now you all have covered your syllabuses and now you are ready for the examination. Now this is another support we are giving. Right now, I have conducted part of your vLearning Ben lectures, and first of all, let me introduce me. I am Dr. Susantha Weerakoon, and I am conducting lectures with JMC more than 20 years. And also I am working with Institute of AAT Institute, and I'm compiling in the panel of compiling your study text and developing your answer packs, answer schemes, right? And okay, anyhow, you can contact me for your any queries. I will share my contacts till your examination. I'm here to support you for your Ben session, Ben subject. Okay, today really I'm going to explain you. First of all, I'm going to explain you the structure of your paper, right? I know that you have went through your paper, right? But my responsibility is explain it again. This is the model paper I have shared with you, right? This is specially developed for this session. And normally you can find few sections in your study pack. Section A, Section B, and Section C. Right? A, B, and C. Right? Now, Section A that includes this known as OTQ, right? But that this includes MCQ questions, right? There are altogether there are 10 MCQs, right? And another few questions you have to mark, 5 questions you have to mark true or false, and short answers, right? Section A, right? For section A, altogether you have 40 marks. This is very important to get these marks, right? 40, 40, 20. Section A 40, section B 40, and section C 20. Section C included only one question, then that is also important, very important question to improve your marks, right? Now here, this first part I'm trying to discuss today and part of second, and I have to given special attention on section C. Section C that has case study. This is not actually a very complex case study. This is mini case study, right? We are categorizing those in mini case studies. Then you have to read this mini case study and answer these questions. This is actually these answers to be contextual. Contextual mean the context of the case study. You have to read the case study, then only you can understand. You can answer those questions, right? And section B that includes another set of essay type questions, right? That also you can get 40 marks, right? Then each question, right? That is question number 2, question number 3, question number 4, question number 4 up to question number 5, right? Up to question number 5. Then there are 4 questions. Each part you can get 10 marks, right? See, 3, 3, 4, right? 10. Each question you can get 3 marks, right? Now, when you have altogether you have 3 hours and 15 minutes. 3 hours and 15 minutes, right? Then normally 15 minutes allocated for reading and 3 hours allocated for writing. That is up to you. But anyhow, before answer the paper, it's very important then if you can go through the paper, right? end of the paper, but I haven't given that here, but in any past paper, you can get action verb list. But before the examination, before you sit for the examination, go through that action verb list, right? And you can, that is very important to answer. If asked to analyze, if asked to write, if asked to compare, what we have to do, right? Okay. I think that action verb list that is common for all subjects. I think other lecturers also has explained that. Anyhow, I'm also intend to explain that end of the session. Right. Okay. Now here this is supposed to be interactive, right? This is supposed to be interactive, right? I want to talk with you. Then you're supposed to answer. Section A, right? Then I want to assess you, right? Through the section A, section B, but I'm not going to get answers directly from you, but I'm going to discuss. But this part 1 questions, you can mark, right? I think you have this. You just mark what is the answer, right? Then I can assess your knowledge, right? I can assess your knowledge, right? Anyhow, 1 to 10, that means question number 1 to 110. These are MCQs, right? MCQs, that means multiple choice questions. MCQ means multiple choice questions. Then you have to select only one answer, right? There are no two answers, right? Select the most correct answer for the question 1 to 110. Write the number of the selected answer in your answer booklet with the number assigned to the question. Now what you can do is you write the 1 and you just write the correct answers number, right? Then end of the session, you have to share your marks with me, right? In between the session, but you have to unmute your microphone and answer what I'm asking, right? Okay. The first question, it asking, that is for the first learning outcome in your syllabus. What is the organization type that incorporated and can exchange shares in the Colombo Stock Exchange? What is the organization type that incorporated and can exchange shares in Colombo Stock Exchange? Normally, children, we have discussed this in 2 lessons. First lesson is the organization, right? The very first chapter, that is types of organization. We have discussed about these legal forms of organizations. What is private limited company? What is guaranteed company? What is public limited company? What is partnership? What is sole proprietor? What is joint venture? Right? All these we have discussed, right? In that lesson, we have discussed these organization types. And other thing is, when we're talking about the financial market, right? We have discussed this too, right? We discussed about the Colombo Stock Exchange. Then I have explained what type of companies can share their sell their shares in stock exchange, right? Right. Private limited companies, public limited companies, guaranteed companies, partnership companies. Now you have to mark your answer in your book, right? Later, end of the part 1, then you can share your marks with me, right? Okay, I think you have marked that. Normally, private limited companies, right? Private limited companies mean, according to the Companies Act, we can incorporate company minimum number of participants, minimum number of directors, that is only one director, right? Only one director, right? Only one director, right? But these companies can't sell their shares in the Colombo Stock Exchange, right? Correct answer is public limited companies. The company name, end of the company name, there's a term called PLC, right? These are public limited companies, right? Guaranteed companies mean these shareholders are liable for agreed amount. Colombo Stock Exchange itself is a guaranteed company, right? Colombo Stock Exchange is a guaranteed company. And partnership business, this is not incorporated business model. This is not an incorporated business model. This is, you can start partnership business with your divisional secretariat. You can go to the divisional secretariat or your local government authority. Then you can start your partnership business or your sole proprietor business. Partnership business, there are minimum 2 number of partners, right? And sole proprietor means only one owner, right? The correct answer is number 2. Right, 1, 2. What is the business type that temporarily joins together for a specific business purpose and does not require registration? Right? This particular business model, there is no necessity to register the business model as a partnership or like that. But temporarily, this is to few parties gathered and until they finish their business target. As an example, think a company is going to bid for a big tender. As an example, think highway construction, right? That highway construction means that the company require a big capital. If one single company don't have a capital, they can come for this type of business model. And finally, they can go for the tender, right? What is it? Partnership business? Yes, two partners together and forming this type of business. Limited liability company, charity organizations, joint venture. Partnership business, limited liability company, charity organization just like YMB, right? And joint venture. And which is temporarily joins together and there is no necessity for business registration, right? It's your time to mark your answer. That is joint venture, right? As an example, think I'm going to bid for a big tender, highway construction. I'm a construction company, but I don't have sufficient capital for that. Then what I can do is, then I can join with another construction company, right? That company also trying to bid for the tender, but that company also suffering for the same. Then what we can do is we can join together, but we are not a partner of one single company, right? We have an agreement that is joint venture. Once finished the highway construction, that is already automatically that is dissolved, right? And this company, two companies can decide under which company we are going to bid for the tender, right? Finally, they have done the business. The companies, the business model is dissolved. The best example for this, Uber and Volvo, they came for a joint venture for a research about autonomous vehicles, right? The vehicle without driver, right? That is autonomous vehicles. Then they came for a research project that is joint venture. Once they finish the research, then that is dissolved. Why? Uber and Volvo, the common fact is car, right? Common fact is car. Then with autonomous vehicles, then both companies are benefited. Then both of them came for an agreement for the joint venture. Then they started their research. Right. 1, 3. This is regarding financial market. An experienced fund manager deploys funds collected from various investors in various productive investments, right? It's like this. Now you have discussed this in economics too, right? Economics too, when you discuss about financial market, right? It's like this. If you have a capital, right? Now you are looking for a business opportunity, right? You are looking for a business opportunity. Then, but you don't have sufficient understanding about the financial market or investment opportunities, right? And other thing is, if you are going to make the decision of this investment, then responsibility is yours, risk is yours. Then you can ask another company, another business to invest my money in productive investment portfolio, right? And give me the return, right? Give me the return. Debentures. This is specific business type, right? Especially in financial industry. Debentures. Debenture mean this is not that type of thing. Debentures mean you can provide loans to another party through the share market. Treasury bill. This is short-term tool. Treasury bond is long-term tool, right? And unit trust, right? This is also financial company. Then what is the answer? You can mark it. Unit trust. Now these particular companies are selling units. These companies are selling units, right? Then for those units, they have to share the profit or the return, the benefit, right? Now unit trust will decide where your capital to be invested. But you don't worry about where they are investing, right? Main thing is you are getting the return. You are buying only units. They are paying for units, right? Unit trust is that type of business. Select the statement that contains components only in the macro environment, right? Now we know there are main two environments, internal and external. External environment divided into two, micro and macro environment, right? Right. First of all, before I explain you just select the answer. Asking the macro, then I will explain. Right. Let me explain. Right. Now, internal environment, that is the internally where what is inside the organization. As an example, we can say HR department, our organization structure. All these are internal things, right? That is included in internal environment. And where the internal environment has direct relationship, direct connectivity, that those are micro environment in external environment, right? As an example, we can say supplier, customer, they are not in the business, but they're outside the business, but we have direct relationship with them, right? And the macro environment is the outer environment that we don't have direct relationship, but that is directly affect to us, but we don't have direct relationship. As an example, we can say government, political stability, right? Right. We'll see what are those answers given. Select the statement that contains components in the macro environment. Government, right? That is macro. Suppliers in micro. Government, exchange rate, inflation, political instability. This is the correct answer. Government is macro, exchange rate, we don't have control, we can't change, we don't have direct relationship, inflation, and the political instability. Supplier, customer, yes, that is in micro environment. Climate, natural disasters, those are in macro, but first two are not in macro environment. Goodwill, that is internal. Marketing department, that is internal. Management, internal employees, internal. Fourth one, all are in internal. Right. What is not an element of Porter's 5-force analysis? Right. Now, who can say what are those 5 forces? Anyone can voluntarily answer before I nominate. What are 5 forces of Porter's? Porter is giving, this is actually competitive analysis. What is the competition in the market? That analyzes through the Porter's 5-force analysis. That is good tool for that. Now in business environment, you are learning what is SWOT analysis, what is pestle analysis, what is 5-force analysis, what is stakeholder analysis. Here, asking Porter's 5-force and value chain analysis. Chenuri, can you tell me what are those 5 forces in Porter's analysis, 5-force analysis? Not answer. Dimutu.
Competitive rivalry,
Yeah.
supplier power,
Mhm.
buyer power, threat of new entry, threat of substitution.
Yes, that is good. There is a small correction. Don't just say supplier's power and customer's power. That is bargaining power, right? Bargaining power. Then 5 forces are rivalry among competitors, bargaining power of suppliers, bargaining power of customers, threat of new entries, threat of substitutes, right? Threat of substitutes. Few students left, I think, because of I'm asking questions. Huh? Right, okay. Now, what is rivalry among competitors? Rivalry among competitors mean what is the competition between direct rivals? As an example, who are in the same market, right? If I am producing footwear, shoes, then my competitors are DSI, Bata, Betons, they are my competitors. Then what is the rivalry among these competitors? That is 1 force, right? If there are more competitors, that is very hard, right? There is a high competition. Bargaining power of customer. right? Bargaining power of customer. Customers' bargaining power is very high, right? If we are monopoly, if the business is monopoly, as an example, just think about the fuel market in Sri Lanka. And if we want buy fuel, if you want buy petrol, if you want buy diesel, whatever the price in the market, then definitely we have to buy. Right? In the fuel station, we are not going to bargain. Right? We are not going to negotiate. Oh, no, 360, that is very high. Can you give me 10% discount? Right? Is there any discounts? I have a discount code, then can you apply? No. Right? Then that is very high. If there are more competitors, then definitely these businesses are going to face for the bargaining of customers are bargaining. As an example, if you are going to buy something, right? If you are going to buy textiles, when you are going to the textile shop, right? When you are going to the fashion shop, then what you can bargain. I know this is very high. Why you can go to another place, you can buy another frock, the same type of frock I can buy from many places. And then that is bargaining power goes high. Then then the supplier's bargaining power. Supplier's bargaining power is if these suppliers are going to if the suppliers are going to if the suppliers have authority in the market, if they have a monopoly, right, then they have a bargaining power. If there are many suppliers, if there's a competition for supply, then that is bargaining power goes down. And threat of substitutes. If there are many substitutes, instead of one good, I can use another good. Then that is another. Threat of new entries. If new entrants are very easy, that is another threat. Right? That is another threat. As an example, company like Nestle, Unilever, they have very less threat of new entrants. As an example, small grocery shops, garage, they have new entrants that is very high, right? Threat of new entries, it is asking what is not, right? It says what is not. Threat of new entrants, rivalry among inbound logistic, that is not a part of 5 force analysis. Then what is that? Fatima, can you say inbound logistic? What is it? That is also Porter's model. What is that model? Aisha? Isuri? Inbound logistic. Kavishka? Sevandi? That is a part of Porter's value chain. That is part of Porter's value chain, right? What does mean by the term Brexit? What does term mean by Brexit? Right. You can mark your answer. It says withdrawal of the United Kingdom from the Commonwealth, withdrawal of the Brazil from the European Union, withdrawal of the Southern Ireland from Britain, withdrawal of the United Kingdom from the European Union. That is Britain exit. Brexit stands for Britain exit. Right? Now, Britain withdraw from the European Union. Now, Britain, United Kingdom is not in European Union now. Now, that is not a member country. Right? Withdrawal of United Kingdom from the Commonwealth. Now, Commonwealth is still United Kingdom is the head in the Commonwealth. Commonwealth is the collection of countries which were under Britain colonial, right? Under colonial period. What are the countries under United Kingdom? Then those countries are in Commonwealth organization, right? We also conducted one summit in Sri Lanka, Chogam, if you can remember, right? Which instrument is not used to the Central Bank of Sri Lanka to control the money supply? Now, Central Bank is controlling the money supply. What Central Bank is using? Central Bank is using many instruments. First, you mark right. Now, money supply. Central Bank can increase and decrease money supply. Stand-in lend-in facility rate. Please correct this. Lend-in facility rate. Stand-in deposit facility rate. Open market activities. Plot-in exchange rate. Now, stand-in lend-in facility rate means Central Bank is fixing interest rate for deposit lendings. What is the Central Bank lending? Normally, Central Bank is lending to commercial banks. Why commercial banks are borrowing from Central Bank? Now, Central Bank, the commercial banks are facing a liquidity problem. Sometimes they are facing for liquidity problem. That means they don't have sufficient money in the bank for their day-to-day transactions. For that, they have to go to the Central Bank for money. Now, Central Bank is fixing interest rate for those lendings. If Central Bank is increasing this interest rate, stand-in lending facility rate, then commercial banks are discouraged to borrow money from the Central Bank. If they discourage to borrow, then what is happening? They are not going to lend money or they are not going to supply money. Then money supply decreases. Deposit facility rate means if commercial banks have excess money, that means the money surplus, they can deposit those in Central Bank. If Central Bank increases this money, interest rate, then commercial banks motivated to deposit money in Central Bank. Then their cash surplus goes to Central Bank, then their money supply goes down. Open market activity. Central Bank is doing some transactions in the open market, government securities, right? If Central Bank is going to sell securities, as an example, treasury bonds, treasury bills, if Central Bank is selling, other banks, commercial banks, supposed to pay money and buy those. Then there is an inflow of money to Central Bank. Then money supply decreases. If central bank is buying sold securities, then central banks pay in money to commercial banks, then their money supply increases. Floating exchange rate, that is separate story, that is related to the exchange market, not in the money market, right? Floating exchange rate is the method of defining exchange rate, right? That means let market forces to decide what is the exchange rate for foreign currencies, right? Then floating exchange rate is not used by central bank to control money supply. What is the Incoterm in which sellers responsible until the cargo is transported to the named port? Right. First you mark then I'll explain. Right. CIF stand for cost, insurance, and freight. Right? Cost, insurance, and freight. Then supplier is delivering direct to the customer. CIF. Right? Cost, insurance, and freight. Cost, freight, and insurance, that to be paid by the seller. Right? And FOB stand for freight on board. Right? Freight on board. The goods are deemed to be delivered to by the seller to the buyer when they are delivered on board the ship nominated to by the buyer at the named port. FOB. CNF, that means cost and freight. Not CIF, this is CNF. Cost and freight. Right? But insurance to be paid by buyer, cost and freight to be paid by customer. CPT is carriage paid to. CPT, carriage paid to. Under the CPT Incoterm, the delivery of the goods occurs when they are delivered by the seller to a agreed place, not the port, agreed place. I mean, this particular place, right? Then which one is agreed? That is FOB, freight on board, right? Freight on board, right? I have a complete video regarding this. I can share that with you, right? I will share my contacts. Then you ask me, then who is asking, then I will share it. End of the session, I will share that. My contacts, then you can ask that. If asked only, I will give it, right? Consider the following statement. I have given 4 statements. Drawing 2 parallel lines on the check sheet. Drawing 2 parallel lines on the check sheet. This is about crossing the check, no? Account pay only has been mentioned on the check. Having a bank account number and bank branch name mentioned on the check. Cash written on the check instead of a name. Which of the following causes does check not be cashed at the bank counter? Right. You answer first. 1, A, B, and D. 2, A and D. 3, A, B, and C only. 4, all of above. In which situation we can't encash the check in the bank counter? If cash written on the check, then only we can convert this into money. We can encash that in the bank account. Which of above cases does a check not be cashed? Not be cashed mean we can't encash. Question number 10. What are the conflict objectives of commercial banks? All right. Then you can mark. There are conflict objectives. I will explain that. First, you have to mark. Right. Let me explain. Lend in and deposits, these are not conflicting. If there are deposits, they can lend. Assets and liabilities, that is record maintained by in the balance sheet. Liquidity and liability, those are not related. Liquidity and profitability, that is related, those are conflicting. The correct answer is liquidity and liability. I will explain how that happened. Right? Liquidity is the money they have, right, in cash form. Profitability, to make the profitability, what they have to do is they have to spend money. That means they have to use deposits. To earn profitability, they have to lend money who are borrowing, right? Then what is happening if they are lending more? Their profitability goes up, but liquidity goes down. To maintain the trustworthiness with their customers, they have to maintain considerable liquidity trade. Got it? Right? Then that is conflicting. If they are going to maintain the liquidity, right, to maintain the customer trustworthiness, then they can't earn more profit. Why? They are not going to lend money, or they are not going to invest this money in anywhere. Why? They want more money to make happy their customers, to maintain the trustworthiness. If the bank is going to earn more profit, they have to spend this money. They have to lend this money to customers and earn interest as their income, or invest in some other businesses and earn profit. But these two are conflicting. Got it? Understood? You are not talking now. Amir, you got this point? What is the conflict between profitability and liquidity? Who is this R? Only one letter. Who is R? Ranil? Huh? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Understand. Right, right. You have to talk, huh? You have to speak. You have to open your mouth. Don't keep your mouth shut. I think you all can speak. Huh? Maybe I can see somewhere in my live class too. Even they are not talking. I'll catch you all. Right, okay. State whether each of the following statements 1, 1 and 115 is true or false. You have to mark if this is true or false. Right? The principle of contribution states that the insurance will not will only cover you for the loss and what happened. The principle of contribution state that has insurance will only cover you for the loss that has happened. That is, what is that? That is known as indemnity, no? Right? Contribution means that one insurance that has covered by few insurance company, they are liable to pay only their contribution. Right? That is that principality. Indemnity is the, then this is wrong. Only demand deposits can request overdraft facility from the bank. You mark true or false. Only demand deposits can request overdraft facility from bank. Give me another name for demand deposit. Give me another name for demand deposits. Current accounts. Only current accounts can request overdraft facility. Overdraft facility means current account holders can, if bank has approved that overdraft facility, they can maintain negative balances in their accounts. Why negative balance? Negative balance means bank is encashing some checks even though there is no sufficient funds. Why? Because of the trustworthiness between the customer and the bank, right? Only demand deposit. Treasury bonds are long-term investments. That is true. Treasury bonds are long-term. Treasury bills are short-term. Investing in debentures can be earn higher interest income than fixed deposits. Yes. That is providing loans to other partners in providing loans to the uh, stock market, right? They can earn higher interest. Holding currency notes to meet possible future risk is called speculative motive. Holding currency notes to meet possible future risks called speculative motives. Speculative motive. Is this correct? Is this wrong? Or true or false? Holding currency notes meet a possible future risk. Now there are main three motives to demand for money. First is transaction motive. We can hold some currency notes to day-to-day transactions. We need money. And precautional motive, that is for future risk. Then speculative motive is not that. Speculative motive is we need money for investments to improve our businesses, right? Then this is wrong. Write the answer for question number 116 to number 3 answer booklet. State 2 objectives of starting central bank. You write it. Only 2, no? Can you write this? Right. Right. State 2 objectives of starting central bank. There are only 2 objectives, right? Maintaining the financial stability and maintaining the economic stability. Maintaining financial stability and economic stability. List down 2 key players in the secondary bond market. In bond market, there are primary bond market as well as secondary bond market, right? Primary bond market, that means central bank. There's a central bank, and there are commercial banks, and there are primary dealers. Only primary dealers and commercial banks can directly buy bonds directly from the central bank. In the secondary market, the primary dealers, right? Primary dealers and commercial banks are key players, and they are selling their securities to general public. Then you can write any out of these 3, say, commercial banks, primary dealers, and general public. State 2 differences between current account and savings account. Have you done that? Right. State 2 differences between current account and savings accounts. One, we have discussed earlier. Savings accounts, they don't have overdraft facility. Current accounts has overdraft facility. Savings accounts, they can't do transactions with checks, but current accounts can. Savings account don't have check facility, but the current account has that facility. Savings accounts has a passbook, current account don't have passbook. Savings accounts don't have monthly statements, but current accounts have. Out of these, you write it in 3. List 2 characteristics of a business. Profit motive, motivated by profit. Continuous, that is continuous, that is motivated by profit. It's an economic affair. Economic affair. There is a risk. They are making needs. And what is the full term? What is the full term abbreviated by CIF and FOB? I told it. CIF stand for cost, insurance, and freight. FOB stand for freight on board. Freight on board. Right. There are 20 questions. 2 marks per one. Now calculate your total marks and share it with me. Amir, what is your marks? Nimadu? Fatima?
38.
How much? What is your marks?
38.
38 out of 40. What is the fraction that you didn't get your marks?
Eighth one.
Huh?
Eighth.
8. 1.8. This Incoterms. Right. I have published a video regarding these Incoterms and international trade things, international agreements and all. Right. I have published that in one WhatsApp channel. I will share the link. Then you can refer that. There are many resources. What about others? Keeping mouth shut. Hashini? කතා කරන්න ළමයි කතා නොකර මේ වැඩේ කරන්න බෑ නේද? Shukra, what is your marks? Why don't you talking? ඇයි කතා කරන්නේ නැත්තේ? කතා කරන්නේ නැතුව ළමයි මේ වැඩේ කරන්න බෑ නේද? එහෙම කරන්න බෑනේ. මම කියනවා ඔයගොල්ලෝ අහන් ඉන්නවා. ඒක නෙවෙයි දැන් what we have to do is then what are the problems you have, then I have to solve those, right? Where you have doubts, then I have to clear those. Huh? It's not nice. I'm not here to talking what I want. I'm here to address your doubts, your questions, your problems, your matters. Whew. Be like that. Okay, ABC Industries, question number 2. I'm going to directly go to this question. If you are not asking anything, then I will explain what I want. ABC Industries, a thriving startup, has experienced significant growth over the past few years. As they plan to expand further, the founders are contemplating the most suitable type of business organization for the enterprise. They have 3 options in mind: sole proprietorship, partnership, private limited company, and PLC. 4. Explain 2 differences between sole proprietorship and partnership businesses. Explain 2 differences between sole proprietor and partnership businesses. Then you have to write 4 differences between 4 characteristics. Sole proprietor business, there is only one partner. In partnership business, more than one. Right? More than one. In partnership business, there is a partnership agreement. In sole proprietor, there is no partnership agreement. In sole proprietor business, profit not shared, and partnership business, profit to be shared. Right? Profit to be shared. There are many differences between these 2, right? Sole proprietor business and partnership business, there are many differences, and You can list down any three out of these. Right? In sole proprietor businesses, capital to be raised by owner. In partnerships, partners. Right? In both, there is no legal personality. Right? Liability in both. Liability goes to the owner in sole proprietor. Liability goes to all partners in partnership business. Management, only the owner, and all partners is take over the management in sole proprietor business. Partnership business. If ABC is considering to gather large capital, what is the most suitable business model? Justify your answer. 4 marks. To raise more capital. To raise more capital out of these 3 options, what is the most suitable? Anyone can answer. What is more suitable? Public limited company. Why? These companies can sell their shares and earn more capital. But in other models, owners supposed to raise capital. Partnership business, partner supposed to raise. Sole proprietorship, only the owner supposed to raise the capital. Right? Out of these, the PLC company, public limited company, is the most suitable one to share the capital. Right. Next section. Identify 3 risks that ABC can insure. What are the risks available with ABC company to insure? They can insure their buildings. They can insure their stocks. Right? They can insure their fleet, truck of fleet. They can insure their fleet, trucks. Right? And they can insure their machineries. They can insure their employees. There are many to insure. Right? Identify 3 risks. That means they can insure what is the risk, the building they can insure, why there is a risk of natural disasters and all. Employees, we can insure workplace accidents. Right? Stock, we can insure because of fire and other threats. Fire insurance, lightning and all. Right? There are many risks available, but all those are very common for any businesses. Some are very special. XYZ Global Traders, a well-established import-export company, is facing crucial decision regarding its future business strategy. Over the years, the company has successfully operated the domestic market, specializing in the import of electronic gadgets and exporting local handicrafts. However, the management team is now contemplating expanding into international trade to capitalize on new opportunities. Right? That is the case has given. What is the difference between the letter of credit and cash in advance? These are payment methods in international trade. Cash in advance and letter of credit, or simply known as LC. If you are in international trade, we have a risk of sending goods. Also, the buyer has a risk of paying. But we don't know each other personally, right? We are in far away. Then there's a such risk. Then what we can do is we can come for this solution, letter of credit. What is it? Two banks, the bankers in two countries, the importers and exporters bank, right? They are coming for the assurance for this. But who is the importer? Importer can deposit money in their bank, in their country, and they can get a LC. Now, the bank, overseas bank, they know that cash is ready. Once this LC process is finished, the seller or the exporter is sending goods. Why? Cash is assured by the bank. Then bank is paying. Two banks are doing the transaction. And finally, the exporter can get the payment. That is the letter of credit. Cash in advance means before the shipment, some sellers are asking money. Some sellers are asking money before the transaction. First, they are getting money, later they are sending, right? That can do cash in advance if we know these two customers. If we know the supplier. If the supplier is not the customer, then they can go for cash in advance. But letter of credit is another. Right? You can explain this. List 4 reasons for international trade. Why international trade? Right? Why people doing transaction internationally? Internationally, what they are doing? They are sending goods overseas. They are buying from overseas. Normally, the consumers can consume overseas goods. The businesses can expand their businesses in other countries, increase the market, expand the market, right? To expand the market, we can use the international trade, right? We can use the international trade for expand the market. In other hand, this is very important thing. The international trade is that is empower the consumption pattern, right? Consumption pattern. Then give me 1 second. Right? Okay. Consumption patterns. They can increase their profit, right? And through the international trade, that manufacturers, producers, they have access to raw materials, right? And they can gain the competitive advantage. And they can reach to the global market, right? These are reasons for international trade. Explain two insurances related to the shipments. Related with the shipments, related to shipments, there are main two insurances. One is the shipment. One is the shipment. One is the cargo. One is the cargo insurance. Right? Cargo insurance means what is the shipment? What are the goods transport from one country to another country, one location to another country? We can insure those goods. Insuring the goods transport on the ship, that is known as cargo insurance. Another thing is we can insure the ship owner, the shipping line can insure the ship, right? Not the cargo, the ship. That means that is known as the hull insurance. Hull insurance. They can insure the hull of the ship, and we can insure the shipment. That means goods we are transporting from one location to another location through ship. That is one insurance. There are main two types of insurances. Right, try to understand what is this case. Right. Entrepreneurship refers to the process of identifying opportunities, taking calculated risk, and creating new ventures or business to bring innovative ideas, products, or services to the market. An entrepreneur is individual who initiate and drives this process, often with the goal of achieving financial success and making significant impact. List for entrepreneurial skills. List for entrepreneurial skills. What are entrepreneurial skills? Entrepreneurs should have some skills. What are those skills? Entrepreneurs should have leadership skills, right? Leadership skill. They should be leaders, right? We have given few skills. One is leadership skill. Another interpersonal skill. Interpersonal skill, they should be able to communicate with other people, working with people, and making decisions in the group. And communication skills and management skills. Main four, right? Leadership skills, interpersonal skills, communication skills, and management skills. You have to list down. In that case, you have to list down. Compare entrepreneur and manager. Then you can compare them with key account, right? You can divide that into two, and you can do the apple to apple comparison, right? Now, entrepreneur is starting a business. Manager is continuing the business started by the entrepreneur. The entrepreneur bear a risk. Right? Entrepreneur bear a risk and he is getting a profit. The manager is managing the business and getting a salary. That is his benefit. The benefit, entrepreneur's benefit is profit, manager's benefit is salary. Entrepreneur is the owner, manager is an employee. Entrepreneur is identifying opportunities, manager is identifying problems. Entrepreneur is thinking about social benefits and social responsibilities. Manager is thinking about organizational benefits and organizational benefits. Yes, organizational benefits, not social benefits. That is the difference between manager and entrepreneur. What are the characteristics of entrepreneur? Entrepreneur is innovative, he has a vision, creative, he has self-confidence, perceptive, self-motivated, is managing risk, managing risk, managing risk, you have to list down 3 characteristics, right? Yes, correction number 5. Right, read the case. Right. The financial market plays a crucial role in the functioning and development of the economy. Right. The question number 5 we'll discuss in tomorrow's session. Right? If you have any problem, then you can ask me this number. You contact me over this number, then we will I will help you to answer your questions, right? Then question number 5, the last question, section C, is that is related to the special case study, right? Here the question number 5, we explain the financial market, right? The financial market explain the difference between the money market and capital market. Normally, capital market is long term, money market is short term, right? Explain the difference between primary market. Now, the capital market normally main instrument is bond. In money market, the main instrument is treasury bills and treasury bonds, short term, and the maturity period is the main concern, right? In money market, maturity period is very low. Capital market, maturity period is very high, right? The primary money market and secondary money market, that means primary money market is the commercial banks and other primary dealers can buy securities from the central bank, right? Buy securities from central bank. And secondary money market, primary dealers and commercial banks can sell their securities to general public, buying and selling securities to general public, right? That is the difference between primary and secondary money market. But general public, they don't have opportunity to buy those directly from the central bank. Investing in unit trust, that is, yes, I have explained that we are buying only units. We are not going to buy other any investment. We are not going to directly do with any company. Unit trust is responsible to invest the money what we are going to invest. Unit trust will invest in a specific portfolio and they will share us the profit. That is actually the profit for the unit, not for the investment portfolio they are going to invest, right? Then stock market, if we are going to invest in the stock market, then definitely we have to bear the risk. If company bankrupts, if company get lost, then definitely if you are investing that risk is with us. We have to bear the risk. But in unit trust, we don't have that. Unit trust company, they have to bear the risk, but we can enjoy the profit. Section C, we'll discuss that with tomorrow's session. I'm going to discuss more case studies, right, in past papers, right? I want help to get this 20 marks, right? This is very easy paper to answer. I think you have an idea, understanding about this. Anything you to discuss, especially tomorrow's session? Any special topic to focus? Dimuthu? Any special topic to focus on tomorrow's session? No, then you are ready to listen what I am saying, no? Hasini? Any special topic to discuss, focus tomorrow's session? No answer. Right, okay. Then we'll say goodbye to today. Right? We'll say goodbye for today. Thanks for your participation. right? If you have any problem, then you contact me through this number, right? You send me a message to this number. I will add you to a channel. There are more videos on these topics. Okay.